Today we're going to talk about if your baby needs shots, what you can expect, and how the process is going to look. And I've got 5 tips to share with you. So, oftentimes at your baby's appointment, you're going to do vitals, do basics like height and weight. The doctor will come in, they will assess your baby, how they're doing, how they're growing, hitting their milestones. And then at the end, like the tech or the medical assistant of some sort is going to come back in and do shots. They save shots for the end of the appointment typically because they want your baby to be happy throughout. So, what I recommend is when your doctor comes in during that part, ask them, are we doing shots today? Now you know. And then, if possible, ask them, where are these shots going to be administered, meaning in the thigh or somewhere else. Again, this way you know what to expect. So, this is my first step of just being prepared. Now you know what's going on. Now, at the end of that appointment, when the shots are going to happen, or when the doctor steps out and you know the tech or medical assistant of some sort is coming back in, if you know the shot's going to be in the thigh, I recommend getting your baby partially dressed. So if they're wearing a onesie with pants, I would put the onesie on them fully and their legs are still exposed, their thighs are still available. This way they're partially dressed. It's much easier to dress a happy baby than a fussy baby. And also this gives you somewhere to clip their pacifier. I recommend a pacifier clip because when your baby cries, if they cry, sometimes they do that scream cry where their mouth is open for a second and the passy can fall out on the ground. You don't want the passy to fall on the ground in a doctor's office, like that's gross. So ideally, you have your pacifier on a clip and you have it clipped onto their outfit. That's the best case scenario in my opinion. And again, they're partially dressed. If you put them in a one-piece sleeper, I still would recommend putting their arms in it and just having it kind of like on them like a jacket, and then later you can put their legs inside of the outfit. You don't want to completely make it inconvenient for the nurse, MA, whatever, but you also are thinking about yourself and your baby too. So that's my recommendation there. Now, when it's time for the actual shot, tip number 2 is do not hold them early. Do not hold them down early is what I'm saying basically. Ideally, you don't have to restrain them. If they're little, they don't even know what's coming. So why hold them down? I think holding a baby down for a shot is more stressful than the shot itself. So I'm sitting there holding my baby on my hip while they're getting everything ready. And then I'm very communicative. That's my third tip, would be to ask them. Ask them what's going on. Like, okay, how many are we doing? Just wanted to verify. They're going in the thigh. Yep. Okay, we're good. And then kind of watch them. And as they're ready, you say, okay, do you want them laying down? And then lay them down real quick, grab their hands maybe gently and use as little force and restraints as possible. Because again, I think that causes more stress and I think it makes the experience way worse personally. So kind of hold them down as little as possible, but still safe enough to get that shot administered. And then my fourth tip is to talk throughout. Don't just sit there and be quiet. Talk to your baby. They know your voice. Your mama or if your dada watching this, they know you. They love you. They don't know this medical person. They're scared of them. So keep talking. Act like this is a calm and cool situation. I mean, if you want to sing a song, if you just want to tell them about your day, you say, oh, look, we're doing this now. Okie dokie. I think that brings comfort. So I'm a fan of talking throughout it. And who cares if the medical assistant or whatever thinks you're weirdo? I couldn't care less. And then my fifth tip is comfort them. As soon as they are done with the shot and they get those little Band-Aids on there or whatever, pick them up and grab them. They don't need them to lay down any longer. Quit restraining them. Make it as quick as possible. And then, like I said, get to comforting them, love on them, keep talking to them, whisper in their ear. Everything's okay. We just needed to do this. And give them that love that they need. Cuddle them. I know I've nursed my babies after shots before. They let me have the room and they were like, sitting here as long as you need. It's no big deal. So nurse them, give them a passy, maybe a bottle, love on them, cuddle on them. Because what stinks is pretty soon here they're going to have to get in the car seat and go home. And that's not fun to go from being restrained for shots potentially to now being restrained in the car seat. So try to love on them, give them a little bit of time. Maybe you go outside and you just take a lap around the parking lot maybe and talk to them and just walk around and help them calm down and be good again. A lot of times they're going to calm down really, really quickly, but you just want them to feel as good as possible. They're your baby and you love them. And then a final kind of safety tip is if you take them home and maybe you didn't put their pants on or something, maybe their legs are available and those Band-Aids are there. A newborn's not going to do anything, but as your baby gets older, you may want to make sure they do not have access to these Band-Aids because an 8-month-old, a 12-month-old, they might rip those Band-Aids off and could potentially eat them on the way home. I know that's kind of gross and random, but with babies, there's always safety things and they're always getting into stuff. So be mindful of where the band-aids are and if you think your baby could rip them off and if you need to put pants on to make sure that those band-aids are covered up. So those are my tips. I hope shots go well for you. If you're choosing to do them, that is your personal decision. I'm just here for the tips on those who need them. So good luck, and I hope it is as little and least amount of stress as absolutely possible on you and your baby. Because I know it's hard on you too as the parent to watch them go through that. It stinks. So if you're here watching this video, you're trying to do your best and you're trying to make it the best experience that you possibly can. So good for you on that. Comment down below if you have any advice to share with other mamas. Check out some of my other videos if they apply to you, and subscribe if you want to get notifications when my videos come up. Thanks.